All right. Hi, ninth period, and welcome to our first day of e-learning. I know this is obviously quite a different way to learn, and just know that your teachers miss you guys tons, and we hope to see you all very soon. A little bit about our game plan for today and how e-learning in general will work for social studies. I will post a quick video update every day to give you guys the spiel for what I expect you to do to be successful on any given day. So today it's Monday, March 16th. Ninth period, you guys are doing something a little bit different just because I did not see you on last Wednesday, the 11th, the Thursday, the 12th, or obviously 13th, the Friday, the 13th day, because we were canceled. So with that, today your lesson is a little bit different than your friends in other social studies classes. So here's how this is going to look. Now, we are nearing the end of our amendment monument project. Obviously, we cannot do the monument presentation slash gallery walk from home, so we're going to postpone that for when we get back from our break, whenever that is. However, I do want you to complete and submit your final proposal. That was the written piece that you guys should have been working on periodically throughout this process. So our game plan for today then is to digitally conduct some sort of peer review slash revision slash editing process. Number one, we're going to start by talking about why revision matters in the first place. We're going to have a digital discussion post to follow up with that. After we do that, I'm going to go over what peer review is going to look like and then a content check as well, because social studies writing is not just about good grammatical Mrs. Macaulay amazing writing. It also has to do with having the correct historical or current day content. So you can't be, naming George W. Bush as somebody who helped sign the 13th Amendment after the Civil War. So we're going to do a quick content check as well. Your goal is to receive meaningful feedback and apply changes to your proposal. So we're going to start with a quote from a man named Chaim Patuk. He was a really famous writer in the 1920s. He said a quote that really resonated with me as a writer, so I wanted to share it with you. He said that he thinks the hardest part of writing is revising, and by that I mean the following. A novelist, or someone who writes novels, has to create the piece of marble and then chip away to find the figure in it. So let's break this quote down a little bit. Here's our chunk of marble. All of your writing, your rough draft, starts as a chunk of marble. Now, as it stands, it's beautiful, right? But we wouldn't necessarily go to the Smithsonian museums to go and see a statue that looks like this. That's not done yet. And that's why we have to chisel away at that piece of marble in order to create a statue. Here we have a statue of Henry VIII. Remember him? He was that really interesting king from England who had 6 wives. So essentially then, if you can imagine this piece of marble being chiseled at so much that it turns into a statue. Your writing should turn into the statue through revision. So again, the purpose is that we are really refining your writing, getting feedback to turn it into the statue, because as it is, it's not quite visitor ready. We're not ready to have it read and analyzed in the way that I know you want to produce your writing. So at the end, I really want your final product to look something like the Trevi Fountain here in Rome. If you've ever been there before, maybe you've seen it. I want you to chisel away your marble so much that we create something so magnificent, so edited, so well formatted that a reader just cannot look away. So what's that going to look like? First and foremost, we're going to pause. And I want you to complete the discussion post on Schoology called Revision Discussion. And the question is, why is revision so important? Give 2 to 3 reasons why the revision / editing step in writing is so essential. So pause the video and complete the discussion post. Okay, after you have completed that discussion post, what will this look like for you, this very important revision process? Step 1 is going to be a peer review. Step 2 is going to be a content check. So, step 1, the peer review. You're going to find 2 people to complete the attached peer review for your rough draft. This is what the document looks like. It is attached to the submission box on Schoology so that you can get 2 people to review your writing. This can be people that are in your household, or it could be friends. You can send it and exchange it with each other digitally somehow. It's totally up to you. But you're going to submit the completed copies. You can digitally do this or take a picture of the paper version to the submission box. Again, I want 2 different people to complete the peer editing process for you. Once you've done that, submit it. After after you do that, step 2 is going to be a content check. On Schoology, in our folder, there is something called the amendment cheat sheet. In here is a list of information divided by amendment that covers some of the historically and current day anyway accurate information that you need to include in your paper. This includes things like the date of ratification, a direct quotation from somebody who was instrumental in the passage or ratification of the amendment, the causes, as well as some current day context. So do not copy the information I'm giving you. Instead, I want you to double check to make sure that you have the information that you need within your paper, that it's correct. If you like something from my cheat sheet here and you want to use it, say a quote from Ben Franklin or John Adams, you can, but you need to find that source on your own elsewhere and then correctly cite it in the Works Cited page. Do not copy my notes. If you have any questions about that, let me know. At this point, I want you to pause, and assuming that you have completed the peer review and content check, which might take a little bit of time, I want you to post 5 things that you will do to fix your paper before submitting it. The final paper is going to be due on Wednesday, after one more day of finalizing things here. So again, I want to hear what your steps are in order to revise your proposal. Okay. If you have any questions or concerns, there is a discussion post on Schoology. I will not respond to the discussion post outside of school hours, so please make sure that you're using that time appropriately. And the reason the discussion post makes sense is because we as a class can really bounce ideas off of each other as well as we would naturally in the normal class setting. So for example, if somebody already posted your question, you can find it really easily on there with my answer, or maybe you can answer some people's questions on that discussion post as well. With that, we are done with day 1's instructions. Please make sure that you read everything carefully and you follow through. Again, today is all about getting feedback and revision. And let me know if you have any questions.